How you doing? Like to speak. I'm recording this interaction first, so I'd like to speak with the supervisor, please. How are you, sir?
Good, how are you?
Are you a supervisor here?
Yeah.
And what's your name?
John Info.
Ninfo. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Believe maybe we spoke you before. You know who I am?
I think so.
Why don't you try it? Come on.
Here, let me see.
It's Davy V.
Yeah.
Davy V. How are you?
Good, how are you?
And listen, I'm just recording. I'm not trying to be a jerk. And obviously, it's not only my First Amendment right, but just to document and keep everybody,
Okay.
just everything documented. That's all. Listen, I just had a pretty bad experience with specifically one of your troopers. I'm Cuban, so people are constantly butchering my last name. I believe it's Stubby. Is there Stubby? Is there? Okay.
Yeah, there's.
1E24. He's driving today.
Okay.
He flew past me on 590. I live in Brighton.
Yeah.
And he flew past me doing about, I don't have a radar. Had to be in excess, if not close to 100, just over. Just near 100, okay? I was doing the limit. And the reason that I know he was flying is because it actually took me 5 minutes to even get to where he went. He flew past me. I thought he was going to pull over a small black SUV in front of me. Not so. He got off at the Monroe Avenue exit. The exit before he was on 590, the exit before the Pittsford exit. Yeah. So in other words, Monroe going towards Brighton. Right. He went into Tom Walls, and he went to meet several other troopers. Okay, I have a video. The video will go up. My concern is not only with the initial, just putting innocent motorists' lives at risk on 590, including myself. Apart from this Davy V stuff and all this public image stuff, I'm a dad. You know, he flew past me and I was like, oh, we all seen it. Even you, sir, when you're off duty or on vacation with your family, whatever, we all say, oh, he's going to pull that guy over. That motorist is, they're getting pulled over. Right. I was surprised. He was literally riding this motorist so far ahead of me, and he got off of Monroe Avenue. They're at lunch right now, okay? My concern is not only Trooper Ninfo, I'm sorry. Not only with the initial action, okay, reckless conduct, let's say, but furthermore, he laughs at me on camera. You will see the video, okay? If you're familiar with my YouTube channel, Davy V TV, I'm being respectful, okay? And as you will also see in the video, I'm being respectful, but I'm very passionate. You'll be able to tell it bothers me, and it is Trooper. With all respect to you, sir, and you've been a professional, and I appreciate it. It is exactly the reason why many people have lost so much respect for law enforcement, sir. Right. I try not to get emotional because my story is deep. It's not just this guy, this angry, bald-headed Cuban guy with a camera. Right. I also have Italian in me, so we have the passion. Okay. My great-grandfather was Italian, Angelino, rest in peace. But there's more to it. Yeah. There's the laughing, the lack of accountability, the above-the-law conduct. Yeah. And it hurts. My dad committed suicide after years of harassment and intimidation by the Rochester Police Department. I'm a family man. I miss my dad every day. I've needed my dad more in my older years, sir, than I did when I was a child. Because as a child, you think your parents are going to be around forever, okay? And the reason I even go into, not to go into this tangent, the reason I even go into that is because it is the catalyst, it is the nucleus of why people like me are so passionate and about exposing and holding police accountable. It is not right. Had you, sir, with all respect, I don't know if you have sons or daughters, or if they're driving age, or you or your wife or anyone in your family, sir, had done the exact same thing, you know better than me, we would have been pulled over. It wasn't an emergency. That's clear. Right. They're eating lunch. It is not right. And here, and I'm sorry to get long-winded here, here's the reason I really came down here. Not to make this big show or put anyone on film or whatever for the hell of it. He dismissed my comments. He laughed. He snickered. You will see that on the video.
Oh,
and then he said,
that,
"Oh yeah, I went right to the Tom Walls."
Oh.
And then he says to me in a very challenging, kind of just vulgar way, like we say in Cuban, "Burgado," which is vulgar, just whatever. And it's you could tell you'll be able to tell his demeanor when you see the video. He tells me, "You're crazy," laughs in my face, walks away from me, gets sheltered by other troopers who basically pull him away or encourage him to come in, and then says to me boldly, and that's why I'm here, "Contact the supervisor Other trooper said that too. These cars have GPS. He put it out there. If the cars in fact have GPS, let's run the GPS. 1E24. I can get you exact times later. 590, driving on 590. Do your cars in fact have GPS?
I could look where the car is
Okay,
now.
please.
It
And
doesn't-
again, you've
it
been an
doesn't
extreme
track
professional.
it.
I mean that.
It
But
doesn't
please
track
understand
it.
where I'm coming from. Please understand where I'm
I
coming. He
understand
not
what you're
only dismissed it in a very
I know.
unprofessional
I understand
way.
what you're saying.
You know what? And not to go into this long thing again, I know I'm getting long here. In 1997, Nick Joseph assaulted me in front of my aunt, who just passed away a couple weeks ago, and my mom, former Greece Police Sergeant Nick Joseph, when he was RPD. A dirty cop who should have never in his life worn a badge. You guys did an exemplary job. I went to the trial every single day of it. You guys handled that investigation against Nick Joseph and subsequently against Merritt Ron and Gary Pignato and all the scum at the Greece Police Department. You guys handled it professionally. And I've always had this, I'm very critical of police, and it's no secret.
Right.
I don't have to hide it. It's my right as an American to record for the First Amendment. It's my right, and that's what I'm exercising. But believe it or not, apart from the whole Davy V thing, I've always been very, 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 I've had a respect there that hasn't really dwindled. Sometimes it ebbs and flows, specifically for you guys, because I've always thought, you know what, they're better than that in some ways. You guys carry more professionalism. It seems like you guys care more about the profession, and I mean that.
Right.
I'm extremely taken back. Had it happened with a Rochester police officer, I wouldn't even be surprised. And some of my viewers may laugh. For me to say I'm surprised of his actions, I am surprised, to be honest with you, because my experience with you guys, for the most part, has been always overwhelmingly professional. And if somebody said, Davey, you've been exposing police misconduct and double standards and corruption, whatever, for over 20 years, what do you think of the New York State Police? And I say what I tell everybody: there's bad and good in everyone, but my experiences with you guys up until right now, for the most part, have been professional. You can tell I'm animated. I mean, it hurts.
Right. No,
And it hurts to have another grown man laugh at me and dismiss something and
Right.
boldly basically put something out there like, check the GPS. So, can we check the GPS?
Right.
I mean, I'm just coming in off the street. I don't expect you to go through. But what is it? Because he seemed very much like, matter of fact, like almost like calling my bluff. Like, you're crazy. He says it on the video.
Okay.
That's your training to tell someone who's holding them accountable, a citizen, a taxpayer? You're crazy? What is the recourse? He put it out there, call my supervisor,
Yeah,
get the
I'll talk
GPS
to him
checked.
for sure and try to figure out what's going on.
Okay, what he mentioned GPS several times. He said they're everything's documented, his words, documented, verbatim, with GPS. How can that be verified?
I don't think it is. I can locate certain vehicles.
So that is
Real
not
time?
that is not correct what he meant, or
I'm not aware of if
In the
that has
context-
capability to
right.
go back
and
half
that's the
an hour and
exactly
check that.
exactly. I agree. I was surprised, but hey, we live in a technology age, right? I mean, he in the context, and I know I'm kind of just throwing this at you here. In the context that he said it to me, it was in clear reference to his speed. He said, "You're crazy. These cars are documented with GPS," and basically pull it. Basically, call my supervisor. So that's
I can
what I'm here
find
for.
out.
Okay.
I've never done that, so I'm
Is
not
there any way
sure.
that you can find out and
I
at
can
least get back to me on
locate
some
vehicles?
form?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
But you have to give me something
Thank
to
you.
get
Yep.
back to you with. I gotta get a pen.
My main point, and I want this to be clear, for coming here is basically taking him up on his offer. His offer was not only contact my supervisor, these cars are documented. You'll see the video, I'm sure. His words, documented by GPS, basically saying, listen, it's BS. I wasn't speeding. That was his way of telling me. You don't believe it's the case that the cars are, in fact, the speed is recorded by GPS or whatever. I mean, that's what he alluded to.
I don't know if there's capabilities to go back in time and determine that.
Okay.
I don't know if he's aware of that capability or not. I've never utilized that, so I'm not
Okay.
sure if you can go back in time. We have locators on vehicles for officer safety purposes, but I can check where that
Okay.
vehicle is now. I don't know if it goes back in time.
Okay, and everything aside, the Davy V thing, like I tell everybody, throwing all that away, can you scrape to the bottom, Trooper? You've been, again, I keep commending you because very professional, which is what I expect from you guys. Can you totally understand? I mean, can you really, understand my concern? I mean, to have somebody fly by you and they're not in an emergency related whatsoever, and they're going to eat lunch, and several other troopers, which is confirmed in the video, obviously, to meet for lunch. Come on, And that is the disgust that a lot of people have with law enforcement. The fact that they see that, you know, do as I say, not as I do kind of mentality. And it's bad, man. It's bad. Can you at least respect that? Whether or not you agree with me or my work, can you at least respect the concern?
I do, yes.
You know, it's not good. And it makes you guys, troopers such as yourself, look bad. Because unfortunately, everybody wears the gray, the stripes, the blue cars. It literally taints everyone. And I wonder sometimes, like, wait a minute, like, you know, do they get this? Do the law enforcement agencies truly get this? Do they understand this? So I want to thank you again. All right, Nefu? Thank you.
All right.